All right, good afternoon. Happy Monday. It's April 6th? Whatever day, April 6th. Happy Monday. Don't need to recap last week. You guys had a huge week, upper body to front end. We had our lower body and abs on that Friday. Nice, good, hard-working day. Today we're going to do a part balance, part core, part load. We got pulling, we got pushing, we got a leg circuit, an ab circuit. We have plenty of work to do. But we need to get warm and loose, okay? Done this loop before. It's only one big thing, about 120 movements, but I want you guys ready to go, okay? Ready? Let's go. 10 regular squats. We have started so many workouts with regular squats. Regular squats, your feet are shoulder width apart. Remember those 4 words. Hips, hips, hips. They move a ton. Glutes, right? Your buns, they should always turn on. Eyes, posture. Don't look down in front of you. Don't look up above you. Look out in front of you. And then that word thighs, reminder, it's a leg exercise, not a back exercise. 10 regular squats, hips, glutes, eyes, thighs. You'll do them again later. 10 on your stationary reverse lunges. The front leg stays loaded, right? The front leg gets loaded and stays loaded. The back leg is moving out of the way. You load that leg and then you pull yourself up. 10 stationary reverse lunges. You'll do these later too. One time, right? We're going to repeat them one time later on in our workout. Then you have your 10 standing scissors. Rhythm. Regular squats, hips, glutes, eyes, thighs. All of those muscles are working. Your stationary reverse lunges. Dynamic lengthening with balance and coordination. Pulling exercise. And then 10 standing scissors. Again, also dynamic lengthening of your posterior muscles. Hamstrings, glutes, back. You're using your arms and your legs via your shoulders and your hips. There's a lot that goes on in standing scissors. Part 2, 10 wide squats. Your feet are wider than your regular squats. If you can maintain or even increase motion compared to your regular squats, you'll have a flexibility squat. You'll feel those muscles lengthen more in a wide squat. Hips, glutes, eyes, thighs, posture, breathe. 10 wide squats. We're not in a hurry. 10 alternating, lengthening, balancing, coordinating, stiff-legged deadlifts. Dynamic lengthening, major balance component on your stiff-legged deadlifts, which is kind of part of our workout today. You'll see. But there's a reason for these combos. You have the dynamic exercise on the regular squats, wide squats. We'll have our narrow squats. Mobility of joints, that one. Lengthening and contracting of your muscles. All the things. 10 wide squats, 10 alternating stiff-legged deadlifts, and then 10 standing runners, which is a mobility exercise. Joints, our spine, hips, knees, ankles, they are moving more on your standing runners than they do on your standing scissors. Elbows to knees, not knees to nose. Again, standing runners, good, big. Not the hardest thing, but the body gets ready. Part 2 is 10 wide squats, 10 alternating stiff-legged deadlifts, 10 standing runners. Part 3 of a 4-part warm-up, 10 narrow squats. Your feet are narrower than your regular squats. We're always a reminder, I want your toes able to wiggle, especially when you get to the narrow squats. I don't want you on your toes, I don't want you on your heels, but that weight displacement in my toes should always be able to wiggle on a narrow squat, which is your mobility squat. Ankles, knees, hips, and spine. 10 narrow squats, 10 stationary forward lunges, step, load, L-O-A-D, and push yourself back. more muscles do turn on a stationary forward lunge versus many other lunges. It can also irritate joints as well. It's not a bad thing, not a scary thing. It's just something we don't normally start with. We get everything else going first. 10 narrow squats, 10 stationary forward lunges, 10 Jack LaLannes. That is your big dynamic stretching. Remember, you hear that word a lot. I use dynamic a lot. In my world, it's multi-joint motion, multi-muscle activation. And for the most part, how we train, it's not a lot of crazy stuff. Lunges and squats and leg presses and push-ups and pull-ups and all the things. They're all dynamic motions. Quad extensions, hip bridges, biceps and triceps. Those are not dynamic motion. Those are static motion. Again, the part 3 is your narrow squats, stationary forward lunges, and Jack LaLannes. The last part of your warm-up, 10 ab scissors and 10 ab runners and 10 prone swimmers. And prone swimmers, you can either be on your hands and knees or you can lay on your stomach. Breathe, focus. So your body's gonna be ready. It's a shorter warm-up for us, 120 total movements, but your muscles have been lengthened and contracted and turned on. Your joints have been moving and lubricated. We got the abs and core engaged, so we're ready for some more work. Part 4, 10 ab scissors, 10 ab runners, and 10 prone swimmers. Again, you can either be on your hands and knees, or you can lay on your stomach when you get to your swimmers. Both are good. Mobility of hips and spine, activation of muscles around your hips and spine. Upper back, middle back, lower back, glutes. Upper back, middle back, lower back, glutes. Again, that was not the hardest warm-up, but thorough. Of course, I know it's coming your way, so not too worried, but I definitely needed you to be warmer than you were at 11:59. As you finish up your warm-up, I'm going to talk about your workout space. And I've actually been doing that a lot more lately, so you guys can get your space ready, and then we'll start talking about the circuits. This circuit, and today we're going to have our one-arm rows, but we're going to work through our one-arm rows between a core row, a balancing row, and a loaded row. So we're actually going to work through all of them versus you getting to choose. The biggest thing is our pushing combo. We've done this before. Circuit 1, I want you to either pick chest or shoulders or triceps on your pushing. Remember, your chest is either laying on something, bars and dumbbells, machines, chest presses. You got push-ups and regular push-ups and TRX, pushing chest, or shoulders, right? Sitting tall, standing tall, or triceps. You have a lot of variety. We do have 2 big circuits today, so pick one of your muscles and one of your exercises on your push this circuit. And then last but not least is we're going to have legs this circuit. So it's a 3-set circuit, and it's going to be complex. I'm going to give you a lot of little changes, okay? Don't think too much. I always want to learn something, but if you overthink this workout, you're going to be in trouble, okay? When you're ready, I'm going to talk about our rows, but I want your space ready for one-arm rows, pushing with your chest or shoulders or triceps, and then you're going to have your legs, okay? I got to be careful with my right arm still. It's slowly getting better, okay? So I'll demonstrate a little bit less. When you do your rows, either do set 1 is going to be core rows. Core rows, you're going to use your core as support. Set 2, I'll talk about it in a second, you'll have balancing rows. Set 3 and set 4, we're going to have loaded rows or supported rows. So we're going to work through that stuff. Okay? You ready? Round 1. 10 right core rows. Get low. stay low. Look how narrow my feet are. The heavier the weight, the more it's gonna pull you, so your body has to work to stay square. 10 right core rows. Then you'll do 10 on your pushing. If you chose chest, you're gonna do chest this whole circuit. 10 round 1. When you push, it is both hands, both arms, whether you're laying on the ground, ball or bench, chest presses, sitting tall, standing tall, shoulder presses, or triceps. You've got a bunch of variety. Round 1, 10 right core rows. Then you're gonna have 10 on your pushes. I'll give you a lot more numbers soon. And then you're gonna have 30 regular squats. We won't do regular squats again today. But notice how I'm talking. I'm trying to grab your attention. I'm trying to give you some information. And then I don't want you to be confused. I want you to get your work done. I promise you we're going to turn up the level of intensity soon. When you get to your regular squats, I would love it if the weight was up on your body. If it needs to be down the middle, that's fine. But I want your feet shoulder width apart. And I want the word load in your head today. L-O-A-D. Load up your body. Time under tension is a big factor. Physical weight is a big factor. And of course, this is the third time I've given it online today, and I've had people in the gym doing it. And the biggest difference is the weight that I can give you. It's not to brag. It's not to be mean. But the workout difference between here and at home is the weight that I can physically give you. I'm keeping it just as simple for everybody as far as not a lot of tools. Again, round 1, 10 right core rows. That was round 1. 10 on your pushes, and then 30 on your regular squats. Most people stopped at 10 by accident. 30 on your regular squats. Round 1. Take your time. Work hard. Simple, smooth. I promise you, these first couple rounds, we're going to get involved, and then we're going to be able to turn that dial up a lot to finish this circuit, and as we transition to the next circuit. 30 regular squats. You won't do regular squats again today. Round 2, when you get there, you're going to do balancing rows. You can balance on your left leg. You can balance on your right leg. Don't make too many changes, but you can mix up your legs a little bit. 20 right balancing rows. Get low, stay low, row. Remember we talked earlier about core. We used some core in our warm-up. We got a little balancing in our warm-up as well. We're going to have a little load today as well. Round 2, 20 right rows, balancing on one of your legs. You're going to have 20 on your push. Pick that same motion, right? This circuit's the same muscle and the same motion. Later on, I'll let you make more changes. 20 on your push, and then you're going to do 30 stationary reverse lunges. You're going to start hearing more so you can have your own pace soon, because everybody has different pushing exercises and pulling weights. Breathe and focus. I can't do a whole bunch yet on the arms, so pardon my lack of exercise. Round 2, 20 right balancing rows, 20 on your push. If you chose chest, stick with your chest. If you chose shoulders, stick with your shoulders. If you chose triceps, stick with your triceps this circuit. I promise we'll do more later. When you get to your legs, 30 total alternating stationary reverse lunges. Math alone says this is 70 total reps, right? 20 plus 20 plus 30. That's 210 seconds, give or take. So the round's about 4 minutes long. It's not that I want you to have a timer next to you. I just want you to know how I can stay on track with you. Breathe. Focus. Work. When you get to those stationary reverse lunges, you won't do it again today. Remember that warm-up, hips. A lot of motion comes from your hips. That's where a lot of that motion starts and comes from. You're going to stay loaded on the front non-moving leg. Don't let your front leg move. And you're going to load it up and you're going to pull yourself up. Last May, 11 months ago, I really worked on pulling and pushing, the mindset behind it. I don't expect you guys to remember all those things, but the rhythm of pulling yourself up and pushing yourself back. A lot of people are like, that actually helped out. Anyhow, been a while. Round 2, 20 right balancing rows, 20 on your push, 30 stationary reverse lunges. I want you to turn up the intensity of the workout, but I still need to grab your attention a little bit longer, okay? So if you find yourself there with me or a little ahead, slow your motion down. I promise there's plenty of work coming your way. But I'm going to let you turn that dial up a little bit. When you get to round 3, and if you're not there yet, that's okay. Round 3, if you have a bench or something sturdy, I want you to use that bench or something sturdy because it's a loaded or supported row. You're using something else to support your body weight. If you don't have that, you can get your left arm on your left leg. That is also a supported row. Now, you're still getting some core, but it's going to be a little bit less than the core row earlier. Round 3, notice my volume. I'm trying to get that attention, right? Give you some energy. Round 3, 30 right loaded supported rows. I want you to be safe, I want you to be heavy, and I want you to work, and I want you to start turning that intensity dial up. 30 right loaded supported rows. 30 on your push. It's the peak of the pyramid on both. However, we do have a wacky pyramid on our rows, and we're going to have a normal pyramid on our push. You'll see really soon. 30 right rows, slow, heavy, supported, loaded. 30 on your push, let it burn. Don't let it go, let it burn. And then 30 on your wide squats. That's a 90 rep round. 270 seconds of work. Again, you're looking at about 5-ish minutes without really taking any breaks. It's a long, hard, tough round. Round 3, 30, right, loaded, L-O-A-D, load, physical weight, time under tension, methodical, 30 right row, 30 on your push. Again, if you chose chest, you better start feeling it right now. If you chose shoulders, I know they're burning. If you chose triceps, they better be burning. Triceps will be the shortest motions in this circuit. Laying on a bench, potentially the longest, hardest position in this circuit. And when you get done with the 30 right row and the 30 push, you've got 30 on your wide squats. You won't do wide squats again today. You did them on your warm-up. You won't do them again today. 30 wide squats. When you get to them, your feet are wider than your regular squats. That weight is down in the middle because the weight is going to pull you down. It's your job to stay really tall. Let the motion happen. Lengthen the hamstrings and the glutes. Contract your hammies and your glutes and your quads. Work, work, work. Again, just timing alone. It's a 90 rep circuit. 90 rep round. 30 right loaded rows. Supported. You're safe. All you have to do is work and pull. It doesn't mean you disengage. Still got to be involved. 30 right row, 30 on your push, 30 wide squats. Again, I want you to keep turning up that intensity dial. I'm going to start giving you more information so you can work hard. Nice. Good day. We have done pyramids many times. Pyramids exist so you can maintain load. You always maintain motion. And of course, you can adjust their load and weight as you need to go up the pyramid and down the pyramid, taking weight off if you need, adding weight too, but always maintain motion. On the way up, the numbers were the same. We're going to have different numbers on the way down. Wacky pyramids are good for your brain. They're good for your body. Don't think too much. Round 3, 30 right row, 30 on your push, 30 wide squat. I want to be a little bit ahead of you. I want you to work. Round 4, 25 right on your supported row. So you're doing the same position. You're in that same safe loaded position. You've got your 25 right row. You'll do 20 on your push. So your row is going to be a wacky pyramid, and your push is going to be a regular pyramid. There is no magic by any means. Round 4, 25 right loaded supported rows, 20 on your push, and then 30 stationary forward lunges. This circuit will be legs. Later on, we're going to do abs. Again, I should be a little bit ahead of you. I want to be enough ahead of you so you know what to do. You don't wait. Turn the dial up. I don't mind pace increasing dramatically, and that means you're not going to rest. I don't mind controlling a high tempo. You can bring the tempo up as long as there's control. Don't lose motion. Maintain the load. Level of intensity comes from focus, right? You're going to focus on it more. You're going to work on it more. You might exert a little bit more. Fire. Round 4, 25 right loaded supported rows, 20 on your push, 30 stationary forward lunges. You won't do stationary forward lunges again today. A little work, a little fire, a little pizzazz, a little oomph. Again, I want you to hear it. Round 4, 25 right loaded supported rows. Same position as round 3, a couple less reps. 20 on the push. Maybe you can go heavier. Maybe you're still working just to maintain the load and motion that you have. And then 30 stationary forward lunges. You won't do it again today. Remember, the regular squat and stationary reverse lunge kind of activate your muscles similarly. Wide squat and stationary forward lunge would actually be the opposite in some ways, with a lengthening of the hamstrings and the glutes versus the load on the pushing quad. So in some ways, opposite. And of course, we'll have another round coming up. Remember, these circuits are long. The rounds are long. The 30 always on the legs, you're looking at least a minute, upwards to a minute and a half. The high pyramids on both took a little while to get through. I don't want you to rest. I want you to work. Round 4, 25 right, supported loaded rows, 20 on your push, 30 stationary forward lunges. I'm not saying you should be there yet, but when you get there, round 5 is going to be 15 right balancing rows. Remember, you can balance on either leg, but it's 15 right side balancing rows. You'll do 10 on your push. It'd be the last push this circuit. And then you're going to do 30 narrow squats. Again, the volume of each round is high. I want the load of each round to be high. I want the intensity of each round to be high. Pace, tempo, intensity, load, motion, they're all there. Remember, the intent behind the changes on the rows, we'll get back to the core row soon. You have the balancing, right? We have the different aspects of the workout, and then load. So core, balance, load. You don't really feel it much in your body, except for the balancing piece, but it's happening, and maybe you have the load associated to it. Again, just so you hear it, round 4 was a 25 right row, the 20 on the push, the 30 stationary forward lunges. Round 5 is your 15 right balancing row. You're balancing on your 15 right row. You're going to have your last 10 push, and then you're going to have your 30 narrow squat. We're not quite done with this circuit, but we're almost done with the circuit. And of course, I'm going to keep that pace up. When you get done with the circuit, you're going to transition to a little mental exertion or cardio. That way you get out of this circuit for a second. At the gym, I've actually had people walk a lap around the building between their circuit because it's a decent day. It kind of got warmer. So when we do these middle circuits, it's to get out of the circuit just for a couple minutes because the circuits are so similar. I don't want you to fall back asleep. Round 5 was that 15 right balancing row. You can balance on either leg, but it's a right side row 15. You'll have your last 10 of this push. You'll have more to do later, and then 30 on your narrow squats. I don't want you to wait for me. Clearly, I'm not doing much with you today. When you get to the last round, you're going to have your 5 core rows, right side row, 5 core rows, and then you're going to have either 30 total alternating stiff-legged deadlifts or 30 total lateral lunges. The reason you can choose those, they both have longer lengthening components. You need to trust them, and you can mix them up because they would have similar weights per se. Round 6, there's no more push. 5 right core rows, and you can either mix it up or do alternating stiff-legged deadlifts or alternating lateral lunges. 30 total alternating legs. You won't do any more legs per se. We have exertion or cardio coming up soon. And I'll talk about that here in a second because I don't want you to stop. In fact, I'm hoping you don't rest for the next 20 minutes. So we're slowly building, and now we're going to take off. Round 5. You've got your 15 right balancing row. You got your brain turn on. Last 10 push. You've got your 30 narrow squat. Round 6. You've got your 5 right core rows. You'll have your 30 total alternating stiff-legged deadlifts or lateral lunges. When you get done, don't wait for me. You've got 30. You've got 150 exertions, or you can do 3 minutes of exertion, or you can do 3 minutes of cardio. And like I said just a minute ago, I've had people, because I can control their weights, I have them walk around the gym, which is almost a quarter mile, and they get out and get some fresh air, and they leave the circuit because circuit 1 and 2 are so similar. Or you can turn the dial up, and you can keep that level of intensity high. When you get done with your 30 total alternating lunges or stiff-legged deadlifts, you've got 150 exertions or 3 minutes of exertions or 3 minutes of cardio. You can run up and down your stairs, you can do jumping rope, jumping jack, you can walk down the mailbox and back, you can do what you need to do. You can crank it up and do your plyometrics, you could do your agilities, you could do your mobilities. What I'm looking for is for you to leave the circuit for 3-ish minutes. If your weights are low, here's a great time to crank up that intensity. If your weights are high, here's a great time to walk around, cool off, take a little jog, do something for 3 minutes. 150 exertions or 3 minutes. Exertions are plyometrics, jump squats, split jumps, burpees, lateral bench hops, skater hops. I'll even throw in there the rope slams, med ball slams, sledgehammer, box jumps, tire jumps, things that have a level of intensity and exertion. Agility, high knees and butt kicks and jumping jacks, bench taps, ski hops, mountain climbers, things that are quicker, things that are smaller, things that are smoother. They yield a little less load and impact versus plyometrics. You've got your mobility, standing scissors, standing runners, jack legs. Work, work, work. But again, I'm going to try to be a little bit ahead of you. I don't want you to rest. So you're going to start hearing about the next circuit soon, so you don't rest. Again, when you get done with the 30 either alternating stiff-legged deadlifts or lateral lunges, potentially those are all done, you've got 150 exertions or 3 minutes of exertions or 3 minutes of cardio. You can set the timer and do all the work we talked about. You got jumping rope, jumping jack, treadmills, ellipticals, bikes, ergs. You got your stairs in your house. 3 minutes. About 30 seconds, I'm going to start talking about the next circuit. So if you do happen to get there, stretch for a second or keep moving for a second and or get your space ready. The next circuit will have abs instead of legs, but it'll sound similar. There are a couple of changes. After your 150 exertions, or 3 minutes of exertions, or 3 minutes of cardio, when you get there, a couple changes. We're going to do our left side instead of our right side. I'm going to get you guys through the wacky pyramid. We have the 3 different body positions, and we have the numbers. The pushing, pick a different pushing muscle and or movement. And your pushing this circuit is always 12 to 15. So there's no more double pyramid. The pushing is always 12 to 15. You have a rep range, so maybe you can change the weight. And then your abs are going to happen instead of your legs. Same numbers. I control your abs. When you're ready, you don't have to be ready yet. You know you're going to hear it. You're going to have your 10 left core rows. That's the get low, the stay low, and use your body to support. 10 left core rows. You're going to have your 12 to 15 push, chest, shoulders, or triceps. Now, you can keep doing the same muscle group. I just want a different position or movement. Chest has different angles, flat, decline, incline, dumbbells, barbells, machines. So you could do more chest, shoulders, less, sitting tall, standing tall, dumbbells, barbells, machine. That's on pushing. Triceps had more variety. Dips, kickbacks, overheads, skull crushers, ropes, bars, there's other tools. Round 1, 10 left core rows, 12 to 15 on your pushing, and then you're gonna have 30 sit-ups. You won't do sit-ups again today. 30 sit-ups. When you get to your sit-ups, remember we've talked about them many times, they get a bad rap. Change your body position. You can change what you lay on. Round, ball, bench, decline boards. There's different things to lay on. You can change your legs. Legs straight, knees bent, feet wide, feet narrow. One leg straight, one leg bent, feet up on something. Sit-ups. You got toe touches, a little less variety on your toe touch. You got both legs up, one leg up, supported, just don't move your legs, right? And then you're gonna have your jackknives. You need a tool, you need resistance from above, cable or band on your jackknives. Round 1. Now remember, I'm trying to keep the level of intensity up. It's gonna be kind of hard to maintain when you get to that circuit, but we're gonna get you there without resting. Round 1, 10 left core rows. You're gonna have your 12 to 15 on your push, and then your 30 on your sit-ups. I don't expect you to be there, but when you get there, round 2 is 20 left balancing rows. You're gonna balance on either leg as you do your left side 20 balancing rows. Always 12 to 15 pushes, and then you'll have your 30 ab scissors, and that's where you're laying down on your ab scissors. Again, I want to be a little bit ahead of you. Recorded version, right? You can always push pause. Remember, the tools you're using will determine the pace, determine how long the circuit takes you or the movement takes you. The pushing choices, dips and kickbacks are small motions. Overheads and chest presses, depending on what you laid on, longer motions and positions. And then of course you have your workout space, you have your energy, your focus. Round 2, you've got your 20 left balancing rows, balance on either leg for the 20 left rows. You're gonna have your 12 to 15 on your push, and then you have your 30 ab scissors. You did some scissors earlier today. If you feel like you're falling behind, please don't. Everybody has different levels of intensity. I've watched this workout, 16 times in front of me, and the 3 classes online. It's all over the place on where people are gonna be. So here, round 2, 20 left balancing rows. You're balancing on either leg. 12 to 15 on your push. Make sure it's a different push from first circuit, but hopefully it's the same push this whole circuit. 30 ab scissors, you won't do them again today. I want to be ahead of you. I don't want to be far ahead of you. If you get too far in front of me or feel like you're going quickly, stretch for a second and or slow your motion down. Round 2, 20 left balancing rows, 12 to 15 push, 30 ab scissors. When you get there, again, I want to be ahead of you. Push pause if you're doing the recorded version if you need to. You know you're going to hear it more. Round 3 is that 30 left supported loaded row, right? You're using something to support you. 30 left row. You're going to have your 12 to 15 push, and then you're going to have your 30 reverse crunches or hanging abs. both legs are moving on reverse crunches or hanging abs. Of course, you need a tool if you're going to do hanging abs. For the most part, you can hold your doorway. It's still a tool. You can hold on to anything else, or you have the straps you can put your arms into on a hanging ab. We do have the Roman chairs for hanging abs. Round 3, 30 left supported loaded rows, 12 to 15 on the push, 30 reverse crunches or hanging abs. Feels good. I hope it feels similar. I hope it feels like you're working. Level intensity can feel high. Pace is high. Tempo controlled high. I want you to maintain load. Always maintain motion. Keep the focus. But when you know what to do, just go do it. Round 3, 30 left loaded supported rows. 12 to 15 on the push. 30 reverse crunches or hanging abs. Both legs are moving on reverse crunches or hanging abs. Abs tight, back flat. You always start up on the reverse crunch, right? We're not doing leg lifts. Start up and your legs go down. You're lengthening your abs, contracting your abs. Everybody's different. Either your body is up on an iso reverse crunch or your body is down on a regular old reverse crunch. For leg lifts, your feet come from the ground. There's your leg lift, right? You're pulling your legs from the ground. Whereas a reverse crunch, you start up and you focus on lengthening. You guys are so good at them, there's a lot of people that can't go all the way down to the ground. It hurts the back, which is when you bend your knees, cross your legs. There's lots of things to do to keep it out of the pack. Round 3, 30 left loaded rows, 12 to 15 push, 30 reverse crunches. Not saying you should be there. When you get there, we're going to start slowly going down the wacky pyramid. You'll have your left loaded supported rows for 25, so it's just a little bit less. Those middle rounds are heavy and hard and supported. You have the 25 left loaded row, the 12 to 15 push, same. And then you have your 30 slow ab runners. That's round 4. Please don't be discouraged if you're not there. I have to give these circuits because people will separate based on the pushing exercise you're doing, the weight you get to use, physical space you're in, the mental space you're in. When you get there, not saying you should be there by any means. Round 4 is your 25 left loaded supported rows, 12 to 15 on your push, and then your 30 ab runners. Laying on the ground, elbows to knees because of your abs. Intensity. Again, these Small changes go a long ways. I see it all the time. People get a little bit lost here and there, and that's okay. There's nothing magical. Changing the numbers a little bit just to mess with your brain, changing the body position so your body works hard. That core turns on. You get kind of confused. You gotta use your core, right? Use your body. The pushing comes from the combo, from the pulling to the push. That little burn happens. Leg circuit 1, ab circuit 2. Have that exertion cardio in the middle to keep the soul stimulated. Round 4. You have the 25 left loaded supported row. You have the 12 to 15 push. You have the 30 ab runners. Again, I'm not saying you should be there. I just don't want you to rest. Maintain load, maintain motion, increase intensity, increase focus, increase all the wonderful things that make your day go right. When you get to round 5, it's the almost done round. I don't expect you to be there. Round 5 is the 15 left balancing row. The balancing left 15 row. You have your last 12 to 15 push. You won't do any more pushing today. Then you have your 30 V-ups. V as in victory on the V-ups. Remember, my volume increases. I'm trying to give you some energy, trying to grab your attention. People get lost in the workout and they start getting confused. You start getting tired. I'm trying to give you that energy. Turn the dial up. You're almost done. Round 5 is the left 15 balancing row. Last balancing exercise today. You're going to have your 12 to 15 push. You won't push again today. And then your 30 V-ups. That big, hard ab. You've got the mobility of hips and spine, flexibility of your posterior muscles, activation of your anterior muscles. It's hard. It's not the best ab. It's a great gauge for how you're feeling today and how your general fitness level is. Round 5. Balancing 15 left side row. Balancing last 12 to 15 push. 30 on your V-ups. You've got ground V-ups. Everything down, everything up. V as in victory. You've got bench V-ups. They can either be a little bigger, a little more extension, or they can be a little smaller. Bench V-ups exist for people with back issues. You don't have to go to the ground, and you're at a top angle per se, or a higher angle. For the most part, it's better on your back on bench V-ups. But you might get more hips. So there's goods and bads in the bench V-ups. Again, not the best ab exercise. It's hard, it's challenging. It's a good gauge for how you're feeling. But you have the one more little part to go before you are done. Again, round 5, 15 left balancing rows. Last 12 to 15 push. 30 on your V-ups, and you're just so close to being done, it's ridiculous. And we're almost there. When you do get done, the workout stops like every workout, right? This one feels a little more abrupt. When you get done, if you have time, stretch. If you have time and energy, go do some light cardio. If you don't have any time and no energy, please get hydrated and nourished before you go sit down and finish your workday. Whatever you do after your workout, your body will absorb and or respond to the most. So if you want it to be all tight and achy, then don't stretch, don't hydrate, and don't nourish. If you want to feel loose and mobile and energized, stretch, hydrate, and focus, and nourish. Round 5, you have the balancing 15 left row, the last 12 to 15 push, the 30 on your V-ups, and the last part to your day is your core, your 5 left row cord position, and you're gonna have your 30 windshield wipers or Russian twists. When you can choose either, you can totally mix them up. You're all done when that is done. The last part, 5 left core rows, 30 windshield wipers or Russian twists. Breathe and focus. Last part. Today was 180 legs, 180 abs core. That's nothing for you guys. You have the 105 each side rows with the components of balance, core, and load. So there's 210 reps there. You have the 90 rep pyramid. You had anywhere between 60 and 75 more reps, so we'll just say it's about 200 pushes. You have that warm-up circuit. You have the 3-minute cardio or 150 exertions. There's a lot. In the last part, 5 left core rows. You got your 30 windshield wipers or Russian twists, and you're all done. Again, please stretch, hydrate, nourish. Don't push off and go sit down and go to work. Give yourself a couple seconds to relax. Pat yourself on the back. I promise you it yields a better afternoon. When that's all done, please say goodbye and have a wonderful Monday. I'll see you really soon.